Thank you for tuning in to another episode of InRange. I'm coming to you today from Roswell, New Mexico. Roswell, New Mexico was the home of one of many prisoner of war camps across the Southwest that were used to prison German and Italian prisoners of war. Of course, the Japanese tended to not surrender, and very few of them were incarcerated here in the Southwest, with the exception of American citizens, but that's a whole nother topic. We have another video about that on InRangeTV. If you haven't seen that, I would advise you to do so. This park here is to commemorate the POWs and MIA of wars across the ages. However, this park is here for a very specific, interesting reason. A lot of the German prisoners of war were used for labor around the region to do things like farming, ranching, road building, and channelizing the local riverbed. Let's go take a look at that river right now. So approximately 4,800 German prisoners of war were here in Roswell, New Mexico from 1943 to 1946. They were used for local community work and labor. About 50 of them were brought to this riverbed behind me to channelize it and improve it and prevent flood erosion. They were taking rocks from the local area and embedding it in concrete into the walls and make it an improved riverbed. The war wasn't over yet, and some of these German prisoners of war decided to do a little art project to surprise their captors, and they built an iron cross into the riverbed. You can look, if you see very closely, it still says 1943 on it. Not only were the local officials enraged by this, the local Roswell residents were as well, and they covered the iron cross with many tons and yards of concrete. However, time and history eroded that concrete away, revealing the iron cross once again. There was a debate whether or not it should be destroyed. This was well after the war, and they decided to commemorate it and turn it into a historical site. At that point, this was called Iron Cross Park. However, in 1996, it was revisited again and renamed POW Wmia Park, and that felt like that was a better way to commemorate this, and it was added as well to the Historic Registry in 2002. So that remnant of the Iron Cross embedded into the rock wall of the riverbed isn't the only piece of history here at the POW Wmia Park in Roswell, New Mexico. We also have a piece of the Berlin Wall that was given by the German Air Force as an example of the good hospitality and goodwill they experienced during military maneuvers. This part of the wall was the western-facing wall, or the free part of the Berlin Wall, and as a result, you can see graffiti on it. The other side is the eastern side that was facing the oppressed side, and it has no graffiti on it for very good reasons. Going near that wall was a good reason to get shot. It's really amazing to see this sort of stuff here in a little place like Roswell, New Mexico, and World War II and the history of it still reverberates to this day. Guys, if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to us on Patreon. It is wholly you, the viewer, that keeps InRange alive. We're not monetized by any ad revenue or any sponsorship whatsoever. If you already are, thank you very much. If you can't, we understand. Just subscribe and share with your friends, because the YouTube algorithm won't do it for us. Thank you very much.